Israel, Israel. Who am I?
An Israelite.
Who am I?
An Israelite.
The book of St. John, chapter 21, verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Our praises.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel. First, giving our praises to the Most High and His Son Yahushua. Bless. We come to you today on this beautiful Sabbath day, a day that wasn't promised to us with another Sabbath class. As you can see in the title, Valentine Day, chocolate-coated day of sin. This is something we're going to cover through the Spirit of the Most High and His Son and bring understanding to the 12 tribes of Israel. I want y'all to pay attention to the title, Chocolate-Coated Day of Sin. Understand, being a prophet of the Most High God, we come into the understanding of the work that we have to do. The intro precept to the class really touched me when I first woke up to this biblical understanding of the Bible, when Yahushua kept asking Simon Peter, you know, you love me. And Peter was grieved that third time. He said, you know all things, Lord. And the biggest thing that you could tell out of that parable there was Yahushua was saying, if you love me, do the work, God. Do the work. Wake up the lost tribes of Israel. Feed the flock. So that's what we're trying to do today. Feed the flock with understanding of the word of the Most High. And we're going to deal with Valentine's Day today. Let me sidebar like I always do. Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 10. And I think we'll start at verse 3. One thing, like I tell everybody, I don't write my class. Most High writes my class. So I might have something on my pen and pad, but I let the Spirit guide me. So we want to cover this topic today because this is another pagan deity that we have learned in our captivity, and we want to make sure we edify the sheep today with this. Go ahead and give me verse 3.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh.
Understand, as we continue to walk in the flesh, being of this pretty much corruptible body, this is what we have to understand. Read.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Go back to verse 3. Read verse 3 for me again.
Verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh,
okay,
we do not war after the flesh.
So like Paul was addressing, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. We do not worry about pretty much the cares of this world. We do not war after the flesh. We do not put our mind in a corner state as we continue to try to feed our spirit daily. Read.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
This is what you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native American need to realize. The weapon of our warfare, as we wake up to the understanding that we are the Israelites according to the Bible, our weapon is not carnal. But read on.
But mighty through God.
Okay.
To the pulling down of strongholds.
This is what we're dealing with today. For a nation to wake up and a nation to rise, we must pull down the stronghold that's keeping us in this condition. We must pull down the stronghold that's keeping us pretty much second-class citizens, keeping us at the pretty much lowest level of society. Read on.
Verse 5. Casting down imagination.
Casting down all imagination. Anything that's contrary to thus say the Lord. Read.
And every high thing that exalted. In every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
Which we know the knowledge of these commandments that was only given to the 12 tribes. Read on.
And bring it into captivity.
In the process of doing it, we must bring all these foolish deities into what?
And bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua.
So this is what we here to do, to give you all script and no lip. Thus say the Lord.
That's right.
So now dealing with this deity, dealing with this Valentine's Day, what we see here is chocolate-coated day of sin. Realizing that this day is not the day of the Most High Yah. This day falls into the rudiments of this world. This day falls into the customs of this world. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 16. Because as we realize now that we've been into multiple captivities, 7 major captivities and 7 minor captivities that we've been in. As we realize now that we've been bamboozled and pretty much, destroyed mentally and spiritually in the format, we have to realize in the process of the captivity, we have learned all the ways of the heathen. But read that right quick, God.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 16. Thus in process of time,
Understand that process of time is being in captivity. Read.
and ungodly custom,
Okay.
grown strong, was kept as a law.
So you have to understand, when the prophets, when we was pretty much enslaved and pretty much killed and tortured through all these years, we are the law keepers. We are the one that's supposed to set the nation back in order.
That's right.
But the thing is, through a process of being oppressed in captivity, we have pretty much fell from that glorious state. And this is how you see what's going on in the world today. It's happening. And pretty much you say, what? A custom rule strong was kept as a what?
As kept as a law.
Okay.
And graven images were worshipped.
Well, what?
And graven images were worshipped
Okay.
by the commandments of
When
kings.
you look at the king now, the kings that we're dealing with now, pretty much your presidents, your state executive, the senator board, your Congress. This is what we're dealing with now. These things are kept as a law. When you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, but now you look at, we have same-sex marriage now. So what's going on now was going on back then. Let's go into the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. Because one thing about building up spiritually and growing closer to the Most High God, you must be able to acknowledge that we've been taught nothing but lies over here. Once we get to the understanding that we've been taught nothing but lies, that we have to pretty much, what Paul say, renew our mind to the spiritual knowledge of the word. Until we actually accept that and embrace that, we still going to continue to be lost in the daughter of Babylon. But go ahead and read that right quick, God.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them.
Hold on, what does the Bible say?
Wherefore, come out from among them,
Okay.
and be ye separate.
I'm going to share with you, through multiple captivities, with Islam, the Arab captivity, when you're dealing with the sub-Saharan slave trade, dealing with the pretty much transatlantic slave trade, where we got introduced to Christianity. These things have not taught us to be separate and come from amongst them. They have pretty much oppressed us to pretty much follow them and pretty much idolize them as God. But the thing is, the Bible is telling the children of Israel to come out from amongst them. What it's talking about? Their philosophy, their customs, their tradition. And it say, be ye separate. Read on.
Said the Lord,
Okay.
and touch not the unclean thing.
This is what we have to realize. When you sit in, and I talk to my people because we always reach back to my brothers and sisters that's still in Christianity. When you read this precept, what do you think about? Do you think it's talking about what it's talking about? It say, be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing. Read that part again for me out. And what?
And touch not the unclean thing.
Christianity. All the pretty much religions of this world. All the customs, all the pretty much pagan customs that they have pushed upon us. Most High say, touch not none of them things. Read on.
And I will receive you.
So this is what's going on. The Most High God is calling for his people to wake up to the biblical truth. Now this is what I want to share with Israel, man. As we teach this truth, the Most High God, through his Spirit, through his Son, reach us, the prophets, just like the days of old, to give the people warning.
That's
To
right.
bring comfort to the people. I'm going to show you something right quick. Give me right quick. I'm a sidebar. Give me 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 14. We don't have nothing but time today. Today is the Sabbath. And in Dallas, it's ice everywhere, so you ain't in a rush to go nowhere.
That's right.
Sometimes Most High do things to sit you down. You thought you was going to do something, but you're not. So, that being said, I want to show you, through the Spirit, I just want y'all to think about what's going on when you, 2 Chronicles chapter 34, and we're going to start at verse 14. When you think about the prophets of the Most High God, and I know you look at Christianity, you look at pretty much what's going on in this world now, and it's like a joyful thing to be a prophet, to be a teacher of God. But you have to realize what you see now is nothing biblical according to the Bible. What you see now is the rudiments of this world. You have not embraced the understanding, the prophets, what they had to deal with. Before you get that, go ahead and give me Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. Because when you think about what's going on, and you think about the job the prophet had to do, teaching the people, now I'm just sharing this with you, teaching a nation that's in sin, that's loving sin, that's a hard task to achieve. To bring someone out of sin that actually enjoys sin, that's right. That's a fight on your hand. I'm going to share with you what the prophet actually deal with. Read that for me right quick, guys.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me.
So understand, the prophet that was before us, read.
And before thee,
okay,
of old prophesied both against many countries.
So the prophets, our forefathers, doing the same thing that y'all see us doing now. They prophesied what? Hey, what?
The old prophesied both against many countries.
Prophesied against many countries, read.
And against great kingdoms.
Okay.
Of war. And of evil.
Okay.
And of pestilence.
Okay. So the thing is, these prophets weren't out there teaching prosperity preaching. These prophets weren't out there going along to get along. They was actually out there correcting and rebuking. And they spoke against mighty kingdoms. This is not a pleasant sight. This is not going to, when you teach like this, you're not going to get praise. You're not going to get saluted and clapped. And when you walk in the city, everybody celebrate. Or when you walk in the boy, everybody know your name. It's not like that, Israel. That's right. The real prophets of the Most High God are going to stand on the words of the Most High God. And they're going to keep everything in order. And guess what? They understand in the process the wicked going to hate. We're going to find out about that today. Now go ahead and give me second.
Can I get some real quick?
Go ahead.
Hey, can you give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3? We start at verse 6. Because like Cap was saying, man, we are out here to do a job. We are out here to wake up our people. You know, we out here to cast down the lies. Everything that we do, just want to let the nation know that we're not doing it in vain. Because even though we putting out the seed, we planting it, the Most High God, He gives the increase. That's right. So when it's time for the nation to wake up, or that brother, that sister wake up, the Most High God is going to do it. We just out here to do the work to show our light, the way our people can see it. Can you read that for me?
That's right.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 6. I have planted, Apollos watered.
Okay.
But God gave the increase.
And this is Paul's talking. He said, but God gave the increase. Just because I planted and I came out there on the streets and I let my people know who they are, the Most High God is going to give the increase. But read on out.
So then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watereth, but God that giveth the increase.
This is what we out here. We are unprofitable servants. We have to remember that. Anything that we do, we shouldn't take vain and glory with it. Oh yeah, I woke that brother up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I did this, did that. No, we giving our praise to the Most High God. Because we were once lost, and the Most High God woken us up to do this labor, like the prophets before us. This is why it's the FUBU effect. It's for us, by us.
That's right.
Read on out.
Verse 8. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one. And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor.
And this is what happened. What is the goal? To make it to the kingdom.
That's right.
This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to strive every day, daily, to make it to the kingdom. And that's all I got on that.
Because.
Big con on that. So like I said, like I was bringing out through the scripture, man, we all just trying to plant our seed. We know the Most High, He gonna give that increase. Our job is to do the work. Like He was telling Simon Peter, hey, feed my sheep. Now going back to what we was at in 2 Chronicles chapter 34 and verse 14. This how we know the Most High God love us. Because when you think about the days of old, when things got bad, did the Most High send a limo? Did he send some money?
No.
Let's see what He sent. Go ahead and read that for me, y'all. Whenever you get there. 2 Chronicles chapter
34 and 17.
start at 14. 34 and 14.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 34, verse 14. And when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord.
Hold on. Give me 36, Shalak. Give me 36 and 14. Shalak,
The
okay.
2 Chronicles, the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 36, verse 14. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgress very much after all the abominations of the heathen.
So I want to bring this out to just share with our people. It's nothing new up under the sun. You read that in King Solomon writing. It's nothing new up under the sun. It said we transgress very much after all the abomination of the who?
Of the heathen.
The other nations. Read on.
And polluted the house of the Lord, which He had hallowed in Jerusalem.
Which He sanctified. Read.
And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by His messengers.
By His what?
By His messengers.
Read on.
Rising up bedtimes and sending, because He had compassion on His people.
Hold on. He had compassion on the whole world.
He had compassion on His people
Uh-huh.
and on His dwelling place.
So through the Spirit of the Most High, who did He send? He sent the prophets because He had compassion. He could have just destroyed us all. But guess what He did? He sent the messengers to try to get them out of their sin, to try to get them right. Well, they say warning before destruction. But guess what happened? Verse 16.
But they mocked the messengers of God
Uh-huh.
and despised His words
Same thing happening today. Read on.
and misused His prophets
Uh-huh.
until the wrath of the Lord arose against His people, till there was no remedy.
So this is what I want to get Israel to understand. As we teach and edify, a lot of times our people, they can't see Christ in us, so they don't listen to us. They've been programmed to see their oppressor. They've been programmed to see somebody that got a $300,000 house. They've been programmed to see someone that's on the television all the time. So when we talk the words of the Most High Yah to them, they can't see past the message. I'm going to show you something. Give me 1 John chapter 3 and verse 7. Because one thing about it, Israel, I'm tired of this captivity. I'm ready to get up out of this captivity. But some of y'all waiting on Joel Austin. Let me show you something. Read that right quick, guys.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 7. Little children, let no man deceive you.
Okay.
He that doeth righteousness is righteous,
Okay.
That's right.
even as He is righteous.
Now, that being said, the Most High God could spur us and speak to us as little children. Because guess what? We have to stay humble and meek as little children.
That's right.
There's nowhere in the Bible that speaks about grown men. Nowhere in the Bible teaches about real niggas or divas.
That's right.
These are all the cussing we learned in this world. But the Most High Yah say little children. And He tell us to what? Let no man deceive you. Because this is the thing about it. As we continue this walk and we look at the government, we look at this whole system, and the Bible address, read 7 again. I want to make sure we got this understanding.
Little children, let no man deceive you.
Because we've been deceived. But check this out. Read on.
He that doeth righteousness is righteous.
So the thing about it, when you think about who's ruling over us right now, can't just ask yourself, is the government righteous?
No.
Is the Congress righteous?
No.
God, is Big Mama righteous? We gotta ask that sometime. Cause some of y'all, we know our family that we listen to, is they righteous? The Bible says the ones that are righteous, they gonna be doing things. But read on.
Even as he is righteous.
Come on now, read.
He that committed sin
Uh huh.
is of the devil.
Understand, devil just is a title, just means to deceive. He that committed sin, you're a deceiver. Read.
For the devil sinned from the beginning.
Come on now.
For this purpose the Son of God was manifested,
Understand, Yahweh came to us, which the word called Christ. Read.
that he might destroy the works of the devil.
Well, he might destroy the deceivers. Because guess what? He walked in the spirit. He showed us it can be done. So no matter what they say or what they might try to say, he showed us the way. So read on. That's how he was manifest, through his actions. Not what he said, but also through his action. Read.
Verse 9. Whosoever is born of God,
Okay.
do not commit sin.
Uh-huh.
For his seed remaineth in him,
Uh-huh.
and he cannot sin, because he is born of God.
That's being renewed, that's coming back to the oracles. Read on.
In this the children of God are manifest.
Now, this is what I want us to understand. By abiding in the will of the Most High God, this is how it's going to be made known who's righteous, who's part of, who's part of the flock. Read on.
And the children of the devil,
And the children of the devil, because we have deceivers in Israel
That's
and
right.
the world. Read on.
whosoever doeth not righteousness,
Understand. Read on.
is not of God.
Okay.
Neither he that loveth not his brother.
I want y'all to really pay attention to that last part.
Well, that's
What
tight.
they say. The last part where they say,
That's tight.
Neither he that loveth not his brother.
now this is what I want us to understand, Israel. As we teach these classes, the Bible's addressing. He that doeth not righteous is not of God. And he that do not love his brother.
That's right.
Come on now. Neither he that do not love his brother. You're not of the Most High either. Because I'm going to show you something. When you think about, I'm going to ask you a question. Give me Psalm 147 verse 19. When you think about what the scripture's saying, why it's saying it. I got to share something with you, Israel. This truth will never be taught by your oppressor.
That's right.
This truth can only be taught by, guess what? Your brother.
That's right.
And I'm going to show you why I say that. So when the Most High, when Yahushua speaking, when John in this writing right now, what he's saying, if you don't love your brother, it's slim chance you're going to get in. Because where's the teaching going to come from? Is it going to come from your oppressor? Let's find out why I say it's going to come from your brother. Read that out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Understand, Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
His statutes
Uh-huh.
and his judgments.
So understand, showing his word, we're talking about his statutes and his judgment, the law, statute, commandments. And the understanding of these commandments, he showed to Jacob. Read.
Unto Israel.
Uh-huh.
He had not dealt so.
Hold up, what does the Bible say?
He had not dealt so
Okay.
with any nation.
So if you hate your brother, where does understanding going to come from?
Wow.
If you can't see Christ in your brother,
Man.
who else going to teach you?
That's right.
Billy Graham? I don't know all their names. I think they got a Chinese, a Moab pastor they be watching now. But if you can't love your brother and see Christ in your brother, how you going to get fed? How you going to get guidance? So, finish it out.
And as for his judgments,
As the understanding of these laws, the understanding why we in the condition that we in, the understanding on how we going to get out this condition, read.
they have not known them.
Man, the other nations can't help us. They don't understand this Bible. Read on.
Praise ye the Lord.
Come on now. So that being said, give me Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 14 right quick. Because when you think about what's going on, the other nations can't even help you if they wanted to. Not saying they will ever want to. They live in what they call half the hog over here. They living good. on oppressing the Most High God chosen people. But I'm going to show you something. What you're looking at right now, how this going to play out. How this going to play out. We dealing with this pagan deity right now, but right now your brother's reaching out. Your brothers, and I salute all the camps that teach the biblical truth, precept upon precept.
Yep.
We're reaching out to our people, but we got to get them to understand. If you don't love us and you don't see Christ in us, how can we reach? I'm going to show you something. Read that right there.
Yep.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children,
Come on now.
said the Lord, for I am married unto you.
He is what?
For I am married unto you,
Okay.
and I will take you one of a city,
One of a city, back to our homeland, Jerusalem, read.
and two of a family,
That two of the family, bring it back to southern and the northern kingdom. Read.
and I will bring you to Zion.
And he would do what?
And I will bring you to
And
Zion.
this is what's going on. Read.
And I will give you pastors
Okay.
according to mine heart.
According to who?
According to mine heart.
And guess what? It's going to be your brothers, man.
That's right.
It's going to be from the 12 tribes of Israel, thus say script. Read on.
Which shall feed you,
What is our job, the awakened, to do? Is to what?
which shall feed you,
Read.
you with knowledge and understanding.
This is what's going on. This is what we are called to do. This is what, every time I have an opportunity to teach, I try to find different ways to try to reach the lost sheep. Because a lot of time, our people, hey, and you stay around the corner from me, I feel like you can't help me. That's a mindset that we have. But that's just being oppressed over so many years. We feel like somebody that look like me cannot help me. But guess what? Yahweh shall look like you, brother.
That's right.
And so is the Most High. So that being said, let's jump and give me now Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 15. We're about to get into this chocolate-coated day of sin, but right now, we want to just make sure we have an understanding. At some point, you got to hear the word and stop focusing on the message. Because we nothing but what? Unprofitable vessels.
That's right.
That's right.
So when you think about what's going on past, we're going to deal with the past and what the Most High God done to us and what's going on currently right now. This is prophecy pretty much unfolding. I'm going to show you. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 22, verse 15. And I will scatter thee among the heathen.
So when you realize, when you look at, and I always go into when you go into the Olympic Games and all that, you see us all over the world. You see us talking French, Portuguese, Spanish, Yiddish, everything. So the Most High God, through our captivity, He scattered us amongst the heathen.
That's right.
What other nation can say that? But read on.
And disperse thee in the countries,
Uh-huh.
and will consume thy filthiness out of thee.
This is what I want y'all to realize. When he say disperse, it's going into captivity, slave ship. But this last part, and will consume thy filthiness out of thee. This is what I want you to understand. They say pressure busts pipes. But pressure also make diamonds too. So, y'all gonna catch that when y'all driving home, but I'm gonna show you something. In the process of this captivity, in the process of going on being oppressed, and I'm picking at this pagan deity because Valentine Day, a person told me before, how you gonna say Valentine not about God? Valentine's all about love. The wrong love.
That's right.
It's not the love of the Most High. It's not the love that the Bible speaks about. But when you think about this, when he say he's going to consume thee, thy filthiness out of thee, the Most High going to pressure us to the point where we going to ought to pretty much get it right or we going to perish. But check this out. In the process of getting this right, read verse 16.
And thou shalt take thine inheritance.
Hold on, wait a minute. So it said by pretty much getting this filthiness out of us, being amongst the heathen, being dispersed all across the nation. Read 16 again.
And thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen.
In the sight of the heathen. It said we pretty much was going to take our inheritance in thyself. I want to show you a precept that get better understanding, precept upon precept, go ahead and give me that Sirach chapter 24, 24 and verse 23. Because it said, we're going to pretty much take our inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen. And it said we were going to run back to Jerusalem, and we were going to come into the understanding. It said, in the midst of where we were dispersed, in the midst of where we was enslaved, that we were going to get our inheritance back. We was going to cling to our inheritance. Now the question that you got to be asking is, real, and I speak to my Christianity brothers and sisters that's getting Christianity, what is the 12 tribes of Israel inherited? Read that right quick, guys.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 24, verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God.
Okay.
Even the law.
Even the what?
Even the law.
Let's see what this law is. Read on.
Which Moses commanded for an heritage.
For what?
For an heritage.
Come on now.
Unto the congregations of Jacob.
So when you realize this, even the law, an inheritance, inheritance means a possession, a birthright, pretty much an entitlement, an estate. So the Bible's addressing this prophecy is unfolding in Ezekiel. Speaking about our captivity and saying in the midst of our captivity, in the midst of being among the heathen, we was going to come back into our inheritance. And we was going to cling it in the sight of the other nation. Now, that being said, we got to get some understanding now. What's going on right now? Cap, talk to me. What's going on? I'm going to show you something. Give me Romans 7 and 7 right quick. Dealing with that inheritance, which we know is the law, which is the Torah, or what they call the book of Moses, we have to realize what's going on. And this is me fishing for my people and trying to bring understanding. While some of us just really pulled away from Christianity, we ain't really dealing with none of that.
Right.
We don't eat catfish no more. You know, we ate that every Friday at the fish fry.
That's right.
You don't see us that much no more. What's going on? We coming back into the fold.
That's right.
Prophecy is unfolding, and our people can't even recognize it. But I'm going to show you. Paul spoke about this. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin?
This is what Paul was pretty much being sarcastic with him. Just let them know, bro, what you trying to say, because this is what they were speaking on. So he said, what you saying when you speaking to them? He said, is the law sin? Read.
God forbid.
Paul said, heck no. Now check this out. Read.
Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law.
But by the what?
But by the law.
Read on.
For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
This is what's going on.
Right.
As we come back into our inheritance, some of these deities that we was dealing with now, we couldn't relate to them. We couldn't understand them because guess what? We was far from the law. Now that we're back in fold with the law, now we got to understand. We're not looking in the corner eye no more. We're looking in the spiritual format. Say, hold up, man. Valentine about love, but now we know. I can ask one of the brothers right now. What precept you'll give me if you want to tell me about love, about anybody? What you'll give me?
1 John 5 and 3.
1 John 5 and 3. Guess what? You in Christianity, you ain't know nothing about that.
No.
You gonna say something about God's love, and you know you gonna say all the stuff that you was programmed to say. But now we know what performance of the law is the perfection of love.
That's right.
So now when you come into this understanding, this is what I want to share with you. Read verse 8 out.
But sin, taking occasion
Okay.
by the commandment.
Hold on. So sin take occasion by the what?
Taking occasion by the
So
commandment.
guess what? Your pastor's not teaching sin because you're not teaching the commandments. You cannot take one away and have the other. He says sin, read that part again up.
But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence.
Okay.
For without the law,
Listen to what Paul says.
for without the law, sin was dead.
Come on now. So
That's
my
right.
thing is, next time your pastor talk about sin, he ain't talking about the law. You tell him you can't talk about the law unless you talk about what? Come on, sin. You can't talk about sin unless what? You speaking of the law.
That's right.
The law identified what is sin. That's why now, as we come into this fold, we supposed to get into this class now a little more, dealing with this chocolate-coated day of sin. Now, that being said, go ahead and give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15. And we're going to start at verse 1. Go ahead, Al.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. But thou, O God, art gracious and true, long-suffering, and in mercy ordering all things. For if we sin, we are thine.
Okay.
Knowing thy power.
Knowing what?
Knowing thy power.
Read on.
But we will not sin, knowing that we are counted thine.
Understand. Knowing that we are the chosen seed now, this is what we have to lean toward. Read on.
For to know thee is perfect righteousness.
Now my thing is, I'm going to ask one of my brothers, to know the Most High God, how do we know that we know Him? What precept you got for me? Screen right now.
1 John 5:3.
There's one, but I'm looking for another one.
1 John 2 and 3.
There we go. There we go. So, 2 and 3, matter of fact, somebody pull that for me. Let's make sure. Because my reader, stay where you at. Get it. I'm going to show you. So, read verse 3 again, John. You got, read what you got.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
Read.
If we keep his commandments.
So now we realize when we come into the fold and the understanding now, this the only way we know that we know the Most High God and He know us. If we do what?
If we keep his commandments.
So now read verse 3 again, Brother John.
For to know thee is perfect righteousness.
Come on now.
Yea, to know thy power is the root of immortality.
So to know Him is perfect righteousness, because if you know Him, you're keeping the laws. And pretty much to know the power of His promise is everlasting life and immortality. This is what we have to understand as we build up. Read on.
For neither did the mischievous invention of men deceive us.
This is what's going on. What was that mischievous invention? It's plenty. We're looking at one today, Valentine Day, which some more people going to celebrate tomorrow. Read on.
Nor an image spotted with diverse colors.
We understand they changed the image. We read that in 1 Maccabees 3 and 48. The what they call white Jesus now. But guess what? Dealing with Valentine's Day, you got you got the little butt naked baby or Cupid, right?
Yeah, Cupid.
And I never seen the black one, but they always be white too, huh? So okay, dealing with these graven images. Read on.
The painter's fruitless labor.
Fruitless labor, none value at all. Read on.
The sight whereof entices fools to lust.
Hold on, so the sight of this thing gonna entice who?
Fools to lust.
Some of y'all still waiting on Cupid to shoot that arrow. To shoot that arrow at you. Read on.
Entices fools to lust after it.
Okay.
And so they desire the form of a dead image.
They decide to form a what?
They desire the form of a dead image.
It goes into a lot of folds. Dealing with the white Jesus. Dealing with the cross. Dealing with Valentine's Day. They use. Read on.
That hath no breath.
They have what?
That hath no
breath. Read on.
Both they that make it them,
okay,
they that desire them,
and they that desire them, read,
and they that worship them,
and they that what?
And they that worship them.
Because before we came into this truth, some of us didn't buy flowers to Valentine's Day. I ain't never, I'm be honest with you, a dozen rolls, I mean, I didn't even know they was that cheap. Guess what? I bought some one day around, I think, October, man. They was like $12.50. I paid $75.90 on Valentine's Day. But guess what? When I was in the world, that's the only time I bought them. So I ain't know the regular price of them. That's what you call it, exploitation right there. But that was my desire. I feel like them flowers on that day was going to be a game changer for me. Read on.
And they that worship them are lovers of evil things.
That's what's going on, Israel. So where you at up? Good.
And are worthy to have such things to trust upon.
Uh-huh.
For the potter, tempering soft earth,
Understand. Read.
fashioneth every vessel with much labor.
Hold up now. This is what I want to get you to understand. Verse 7, for the potter, we're talking about the creator, pretty much tempered soft earth fashion every vessel. Read.
With much labor.
With much labor. Now check this out. Read.
For our service.
For our what?
For our service.
Read on.
Yea, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve for clean uses.
Now this is what we're going to get a precept on this in a minute. But read on.
And likewise also all such as serve to the contrary.
Hold up. So in the same, pretty much what he say, the same dirt, in that same format, he had one to pretty much to do the will, to do the pretty much the righteous deed, and also the ones that's going to be contrary to the righteous deed. But check it out. I'm going to break it down in a minute. Read.
But what is the use of either sort?
This is what we're going to conclude in a minute. Read.
The potter himself is the judge.
Who's the judge?
The potter himself is the judge.
What I'm getting to now, when you look at what's going on, it was one point where Israel was going through lands, and the Most High God was ahead of us, and he was separating. He was pretty much fighting off anything that was wicked. But guess what? In the process of time, through disobedience, the game to change now. Give me Romans 9 and verse 21. We're going to precept it out. Dealing with both vessels. Dealing with both vessels right quick. Romans 9 and verse 21. Because remember, he said one was for pretty much cleanliness, and one was contrary to the first one. Why is that? It said the Most High is the judge of these things. We're going to get some more understanding. Precept upon precept. Read it right quick out.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay?
Okay.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor?
Hold up now. So of the same lump to make one vessel to honor. Read.
And another unto dishonor?
And another one to dishonor. Now, this is what I want y'all to understand. What is that first vessel for honor? Give me Exodus 8 and 1 right quick. Give me. You stay where you at. Dealing with this first vessel. Who was that first vessel? The chosen seed. The 12 tribes of Israel. To honor. What was that honor supposed to be? What was that deed? Read that right quick. What was our purpose? We're about to find out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses,
Okay.
Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go.
Okay, now check this out. Read.
That they may serve me.
That they may what?
Serve me.
So dealing with that first vessel, which we know was the chosen seed, which was us, the 12 tribes of Israel, our purpose was to serve the Most High Yah. Now dealing with that second vessel, give me Proverbs 16 and 4 right quick. And John, you hold where you at. We're about to go to the next verse. This is what I want to bring understanding to. Dealing with these deities and dealing with these pagan customs, this is what I want Israel to understand. The Most High God is not separating like he did for us before. He's not fighting against the weak. We, as a nation, he gave us the element to be able to stand. What did they put on the whole armor? What is the whole armor? We got to come back to what was our inheritance, the commandments. Because dealing with the second vessel, read that right quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4.
Because one thing about growing spiritually, you got to know the purpose and the understanding of why things are. And it's found in the scriptures. Now watch this, read this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4.
Okay.
The Lord hath made all things for himself.
For himself, read.
Yea, even the wicked.
Even the what?
Even the wicked.
Valentine Day.
Even the wicked.
Mother's Day.
Even the wicked.
Christmas.
even the wicked,
Read.
for the day of evil.
For the day of evil. Now, I go back to what we read, Romans 9, and read verse 22. This is what's going on. As you get understanding this, bro, these snares are here for a reason. I know you said, Lord, just move. Why you just can't get rid of them? No. We had it like that at first, but it's changed now. Read verse 22.
What if God, willing to show his wrath
Okay.
and to make his power known,
To make it what?
and to make his power known,
Read on.
endured with much long suffering,
Understand, Christianity don't talk about it, but when you come into the truth, you understand, long suffering leads to something.
That's right.
Long suffering actually lead to correction. We might don't want to receive it, but it actually developed to that. Read on.
endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath.
The vessel of what?
The vessels of wrath.
What is all oppressive? The vessel of wrath.
The vessels of wrath.
The vessels of wrath fitted for destruction.
Fitted for destruction. Now that being said, let's move forward now. Fitted for destruction. What is going on? When you're dealing with what's going on, going to this level. This was going on, the Most High God, and Yahushua spoke the same format of these different things that was going on in Israel. And when you read that in the second Israel, he said he gave us straight commandments. Those that do pretty much stay out of harm's way. You know what I'm saying? To live. But guess what? Also, if we didn't do what was said, it was also going to lead to what? Punishment. But I'm going to show you. Now we're dealing with the origins of Valentine's Day.
Let me see the mic. The origins of Valentine's Day. Ever heard of Lupercalia? If not, you're in for an entirely new perspective on V-Day. Let's take a look at the dark, dirty origins of the world's sappiest holiday. It started with a pagan festival. In ancient Rome, Lupercalia was celebrated on February 15th every year. It was a wild pagan celebration of sex, violence, and fertility.
Fertility.
What does fertility mean? And the importance in a fertility god.
Now this is what I want Israel to realize. There's nothing new upon the sun. Dealing with fertility, you're going to hear this word a lot. I had to do some research on it myself, but check this out. Read on.
The state or quality of being fertile. The ability to produce offsprings. The power of reproduction strengthened a kingdom.
Okay.
The amazing fertility of rabbits. The birth rate of a population. While our modern Valentine's Day celebration is all about gifts, dates, and candy, as early as the 16th century, the 6th century BC, but it's possible it's even older than that. The word Lupercalia was likely derived from lupus, the Latin word for wolf. The name of the festival was probably referring Romulus and Remus, the founders of ancient Rome, who, according to legend, were raised by a female wolf. Lupercalia is also connected with Lupercus, a Roman fertility god. What is fertility worship? A system of natural worship involving rites and ceremonies believed to ensure productiveness of plants, animals, and people, and often direct towards the propitiation of a special deity.
Now, I want to bring to this understanding. So, dealing with Valentine's Day, and like I said, when I was younger, I heard about this guy named Valentine, and something about he wrote a love letter to his wife or something out of his blood. That's why they use man garbage. But that, like I said, all that is just what they call it, Roman Catholicism and all that. But the thing is, when you look at this deity, this goes way back to Babylon. This goes back to, go ahead and read that second part. I'll give you Proverbs 3:31 right quick.
Easter was originally the celebration of Esther.
So Easter was originally the celebrating of Esther. That's spelled Htar. Read.
The Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. Her symbols, like the egg and bunny, were and still are fertility and sex symbols.
This is where all this goes back to. This goes back to Isis. This goes back to the Babylonian custom. The thing is with the fertility god, and this what goes on, what it said earlier up here, the state of reproducing, from crops to pretty much people, this was strengthening the kingdom. So this is what the Romans was doing. This is what the Babylonians was doing. They was praying to the fertility god to strengthen a nation, to rule. But read on.
Or did you actually think eggs and bunnies had anything to do with the resurrection? After Constantine decided to Christianize the empire, Easter was changed to represent Jesus. But at its roots, Easter, which is how you pronounce Esther, is all about celebrating fertility and sex.
Fertility and sex. And did you have something?
Yeah, I had some on there too, just to go into a little bit more details on what they did. Here it goes. The earliest possible origin story of the Valentine's Day is the pagan holiday Lupercalia, occurring for centuries in the middle of February. The holiday celebrates fertility. Men would strip naked and sacrifice a goat and dog. Young boys would then take stripes of hide from the sacrificed animals and use it to whip young women to promote fertility. That's all I had on that.
So when you look at this custom, this is not the custom of the Most High Yah. This is what we go ahead and give them the mic and read that up for me in Proverbs. Because when you read this to our people, they're going to say, well, you know, that's what they used to do, but, you know, it's not like that no more. But let's see what the Bible says about this. Proverbs 3 and 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
The biggest thing with Israel, you haven't realized who your oppressor. You have not came to grasp to realize who is the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American oppressor. Your oppressor got to be someone in rulership. It's not me. I can't cut your water off. Like I said before, I cut your water off, you can go out there and cut it back off. So this is what the Bible is saying. Read that again up.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Okay.
Of his ways.
And this is what we have to realize. This is not of the Most High God. Go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 28 right now. Going back to the scriptures and just justifying what's going on with our people. We continue to do the rudiments of the world. But guess what? Valentine's Day right now, somebody think I'm going to mess up their little dinner date tomorrow. Nah, you going to do this class today. God, I'm trying to do my thing. But this is what's keeping us in this lower state.
That's right.
This is what's keeping us at the bottom.
Bring it out.
Because we don't want to let go of everything we've been taught in this wicked kingdom. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 28. Observe and hear all these words, which I command thee, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee forever.
This is what we should have been doing. Read on.
When thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Most High thy power. When the Most High thy power shall cut off the nations from before thee, whether thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land.
So this is what the Most High God was doing with us when we was doing good. What is good? We know now what is the law. But read on.
Take heed to thyself.
This is what Israel have to realize. The Most High God is addressing in the process of doing it. Do what?
Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared.
That we be not what?
That thou not be snared by following them. After that they be destroyed from before thee.
Because he was destroying other nations for us. Like I said, we was going to battle. We didn't lose a soldier. Read on.
And that thou inquired not after their gods.
Hold on. It said don't even do what?
And that thou inquired not after thy gods.
So in the process of destroying the other nations, the Most High God said, don't even ask, don't even inquire after their gods. Read.
Saying, how did these nations serve their gods? even so will I do likewise.
Read on.
Thou shalt not do unto the Lord thy power for every abomination to the Lord, which he hated, have done unto their gods.
Come on now.
For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods.
And this is what we have to understand. Being burned in the fire, putting our children through the fire, not teaching them the truth. See, the thing is, a lot of times my people feel like, well, it's not a quick death. I can't, it is what it is. But a slow death is sometimes worse than a quick death. When you putting your children through the fire, you're not teaching the biblical truth. You got something?
Yeah, I got something on that. Hey, can you give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 real quick? And we gotta understand, when you go back to the pagan holiday, there's nothing new under the sun. I'm gonna break it down to y'all real quick. Hope y'all can see the vision the Most High God is giving me real quick. Because, like you said, with our young kids, we passing them through the fire because guess what? We're grooming them at an early age.
That's right.
What they do? This wicked holiday, what they do? They make sure everybody bring in cards, gifts. We pass out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, little Susie, that's gonna be my Valentine's Day. We're grooming them to follow this pagan holiday, you know what I'm saying? So read that for me real quick, God.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Right.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
So we gotta understand, the things that happened back then is happening now. It's just taking a whole total different form. I don't know about y'all brothers on Valentine's Day. We don't want to go get into all to that. But when we look back into it, when you go back over the article, it said that the young man used to use whip. They was beating them to, like you said, for fertility. Now, what? The young man used the whip today as in, what? An action, a form of playing around, maybe joking. I don't want to go into much detail because we got kids in here. But y'all get what I'm saying, though. This nothing new under the sun. We have been groomed. So from then until now, it's the same thing. Read on out.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new at all. And before I give it back to my Cap, give me Matthew 6 and 24. We all been there, man. It's a decision that we have to make, though. What are we going to do? We're going to serve God or we're going to serve man?
That's right.
Because we all have fallen short. Especially if you don't give your woman there no Valentine's Day, she going to be looking at you funny. The food ain't going to be cooked right. Your work clothes ain't going to be ironed all the way.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to enjoy yourself on them Sundays no more because she got an attitude now because she's been conditioned from an early age since kindergarten.
That's right.
Read that real quick for me, y'all.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can do what?
No man can serve two masters.
Okay.
For either he shall hate the one and love the other.
And that's what happened to the nation of Israel.
That's right.
They love these pagan holidays. They love Valentine's Day. They can't get rid of it. But when it comes to giving the Most High God and putting the truth out there, they be like, nah, that ain't the truth, man. That ain't the truth. They don't want to go with it. This is something because they never heard of before.
That's right.
Read on up.
Or else he will hold to the one,
Which is Valentine's Day, making sure that his woman is fit to have the biggest bear, the best chocolate, roses.
Right.
Make sure she got that nice car out there. And it's vice versa. The woman's going to go out her way too to make sure that her man has everything that he needs except the word of God.
Yep.
Read on.
and despiseth the other.
Because they're going to despise this word when we tell them that Valentine's Day is not part of the Most High God. They're going to hate us for that. They're going to say, oh man, my pastor didn't say that, so you wrong. They're going to say, oh well, Big Mama, man, she taught us the right way, but you reading this the wrong way. You have miscrewed the words of the Most High God and take it for what you have, but the Most High God had put it in plain sight for us.
Right.
Read on up.
Ye cannot serve God
By
and
keeping
mammon.
His laws and by keeping Valentine's Day. So the choice is yours, Israel. Which one you going to choose? You going to choose to serve the Most High God and have eternal life? Or you going to go into that lake of fire because you want to serve Valentine's Day? Here you go, King.
That's right.
Big con, big con. I'm going to show you, because I know somebody right now, probably at the house. I don't care if I always hating on something. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 2 right quick. Because when you think about it, and the thing is, the Spirit of the Most High, man, is found in the Scriptures. He don't never leave no gray area on how he view things or see things. When you think about when he was telling them, don't get caught in this snare, he said, take heed to yourself. Because the other nation that I destroyed, they was doing that to their God. Most High Yah said, don't do that with me. Come on, you know Most High's brother. You know, he said, I don't play that. I don't operate like that. But guess what our people do? So I'm going to just show you through the Scripture. Deuteronomy chapter 12, and give me verse 2.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 2.
In the process of dealing with idols, this is what the Most High God say. Read.
Ye shall utterly destroy all the places
Okay.
wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods.
Come on now.
Upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree.
So the Most High God is telling me we're supposed to destroy all of them things. Now, my brother, man, I smiled. I seen him on we was on the glide last weekend. He said he went into one of them jobs and they gave him a little Valentine bar or something. They gave him something. And, you know, he was at work, so he said he didn't want to be rude, but he said he just took it and walked out. Brother got on the glide, man, I tell you. He said, man, they don't, I ain't going to say what he said, but just say he chucked that thing out the window, man. I'll praise the Most High Yah. Because that's what it is, man. That's the feeling and the vibe the Most High God is addressing and praying that Israel had that same feeling. We supposed to get rid of them things, man. But read on.
And ye shall overthrow their altars.
Come on now.
And break their pillars.
No, just put them to the side.
And break their pillars.
Most High Yah, man, turn that stuff up. Read.
And burn their groves with fire.
Now, just put them over in the corner, man.
And burn their groves with fire.
Come on, man.
And ye shall have graven images of their gods.
Of who?
Of their gods.
Read on.
And destroy the names of that place.
He say destroy the names of them out of that place. Read on.
Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God.
So he said, you don't, what they doing to their God, the fertility God, all the gods they have, he said, don't even do that with me. This is the Most High Yah is addressing the 12 tribes of Israel. But this is what we have to realize. Give me Proverbs 29 and verse 27. Because what Israel have to realize, when you stay in the Spirit and you stand with the Most High God, I want something to pop in your mind. If you standing on the word of the Most High in a wicked kingdom, this is what you have to realize. Read that when you get there.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 27. An unjust man.
Hold up, read it again.
An unjust man.
Okay.
Is an abomination to the just.
To the who?
To the just.
When you standing on what you standing on, read on.
And he that is upright.
Okay.
In the way is abomination to the wicked.
So this is what I want you to understand. What does that mean, Israel? It's wartime. That's what that means. See, the thing is, the righteous and the wicked is never going to hold hand in hand. I don't care what Martin Luther King taught you. The righteous and the wicked, according to the scriptures, would never hold hands. So when you stand on the word of the Most High God, it's going to be friction. This is what we have to prepare for.
That's right.
I think the biggest issue I used to have at work, and it was simple. I didn't, what do you call it, white elephant or something, where you got to get a gift for everybody in the office. And I said, I'm good. I'm like, well, I mean, then they hit you with this. Oh, so you just going to be a screw. You just going to be the Grinch. I think we all need to apologize to the Grinch. The Grinch was trying to help us. We didn't know it back then. But when we was young, we were programmed to look at it like, man, old mean Grinch. But guess what? He was probably trying to keep the laws. Because he kept throwing that tree outside. I just said, I got a different perception now. So that being said, it's going to be problems in a wicked kingdom. Give me Psalm 119, 108. No, 119 and verse 101. See, the thing is, now we get into the chocolate coating now. Now, knowing that, and I analyze and I try to tell people all the time, being realizing and just think, your old person probably can analyze some of this stuff. Not as fast as us, But if he analyze it, what that means about us, we got to be wise as a serpent and what? Harmless as a dove. Because get what? Is there a prison system? Is there a court system? Is there a law enforcement? So my thing is this. Our goal is to get the nation ready. But I'm going to show you, dealing with King David. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 1. Verse 101.
Yeah.
I have refrained my feet from every evil way.
So this King David sentence, you don't think they was popping off back there with King David? Come on, man. You know, he was hearing all about the shindigs and everything that was going on. You know, he was looking like, he probably like, what's going on over there? But guess what? When he found, what? They sacrificing what? God or who? The matter of fact, we're going to get to that. Because when you look into the deity of the fertility God, there's multiple names that come with it. But what did King David say? Read that again up.
I have refrained my feet from every evil way.
Okay.
That I might keep thy word.
That he might keep the word of the Most High. Y'all read on.
I have not departed from thy judgments.
Okay.
For thou hast taught me. How sweet are thy words unto my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth.
So King David said, by keeping these precepts, by keeping the words of the Most High, by staying in the Spirit, by being upright, has been a blessing to him. Now check this out. Read.
Through thy precepts.
Hold on, what did King David say?
Through thy precepts, I get understanding.
Okay.
Therefore I hate every false way.
My question to Israel, this is what we have to realize. You don't think your oppressor realize this? You don't think I'm telling you like this. Right now, you're looking at the tribes waking up. Do you think Esau really trying to attack Ned DeWino? He already got it. You think he trying to get at Dolphin Willie them? Do you think he trying to get Big Pookie them on the block? He already know. He's coming after us.
That's right.
And in the process of knowing, he's looking at, damn, they got their friend on. Gosh, they keeping the Sabbath day now. And they feeding the flock. This is where things get a little hectic, Israel. But we have to understand what's going on. Your adversary, and that's why I say never be blind to the obvious. I'm going to show you something. Give me Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. Give me that backside of what we dealing with. We're dealing with the God of fertility. I want to just show you through multiple captivities, from Greek to Rome to the Canaanites, pretty much in Egypt, and even the Babylonians dealing with the Ethiopians. The name, what they say, they changed the name, they changed. Read that right quick, guy.
Different names of fertility goddess, queen of heaven. Greek equivalent, Aphrodite, Athens.
Okay.
Roman equivalent, Venus, Minerva. Canaanite equivalent, Estroeth. Babylonian equivalent, Esther.
So this thing is, the name changed, but it's still a fertility god. It's still the same deity. Now that being said, go ahead and read what you got, huh?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
What nation of people is doing this? Read that again, huh?
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
This is what's going on. Read on.
And their works are in the dark.
Okay.
And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us?
Because when you think about all these pagan deities, and I'm going to try to do a class on this, even when you deal with the Marvel comics and the DC comics out there, guess what? All of them characters come from what? Pagan deity.
That's right.
That's right.
When you look at Wonder Woman, I had to stop my daughter from watching that. Diana. That goes into the Amazon. That goes back into the Babylonians. All them Superman. All this goes back into what they call that Greek mythology stuff. It goes all back. So what they do, like the scriptures say, they hide their counsel. And they say, who see me? I got Israel worshiping deities and idols. And they don't even know it. They love the Ninja Turtles. They love the things that he'll put in front of us. But like I said, that goes into that what? Chocolate coated day of sin. Now, that being said, we're about to come to a close. Go ahead and give me Malachi chapter 2 and 1 right quick. Michael, I'm sorry. Chapter 2 and verse 1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
Understand, woe is destruction. So the Most High God is addressing. These things are happening, but guess what? The Most High said, destruction to them that's doing these things. Read on.
And work evil upon their beds.
And work evil upon their bed. Read on.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
They do what?
They practice it.
Come on now. Groundhog Day. St. Patrick's Day. All these things they practice, and what? They put a code over it. They put it like what they say. They sprinkle a little sugar powder on it. Y'all from New Orleans, y'all know about the sugar powder. I'm just saying, I remember this lady made some beignets, and I ate one, and it was turned on it. And I tell you, she put the sugar powder on it. It was a whole game changer. It could have been a downhill all day. It was that good. She dumped it in that bag. She shook that bag up. She said, "Go ahead, go and get you one there, boy." And the same little thing with the sugar powder on it, whole different ball game. So I'm telling you. So read on. So in the morning they practice it. This is what we have to realize. It's gonna be more things come up Israel, and it's gonna be sugar coated. It's going to look like it's righteous. Well, they talking about God. That sounds good. But guess what? It's not.
That's right.
Read on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
It's in their power right now. The devil know his time is running out. So guess what? He got to be crafty too. He got to move swift too. Because guess what? We waking up. But when you think about this, I'm going to show you something. Give me Jeremiah 45 and 25 right quick. 44 and 25 is what I want. Jeremiah. Now we talked about that. We just read about the God of heaven. But what was the Queen of heaven? What they call her? Now let's see. There's nothing new upon the sun. Read that when you get there.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 24, verse 25. Thus said the Lord of hosts.
Hold on, 44 and 25 is what I. 44.
25. That's what I read.
Wait. Yeah, that's what I want.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, God of Israel, saying, Ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths,
Okay.
and fulfilled with your hand, saying, We will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of heaven.
To the Queen of what?
To the Queen of heaven.
There we go again. Jeremiah was dealing with the same thing. Dealing with the same deity. Changed the name. We know Esther. Now there's Queen of heaven. Read on.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her. Ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows.
Give me Judges chapter 2 and verse 11 now. Just showing you Israel changed the name to change the game. It's still the same deity. The same deity. Go ahead.
The book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Baal.
Okay.
And they forsook the day of the Lord of their fathers, which and followed other gods.
You what?
And followed other gods of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baal and Ashtoreth.
There the name go? What was that? The name that was in Babylonia. No, Canaanite, yeah. That was the king. In pretty much Egyptian captivity. The same deity, dealing with the fertility god. Now go ahead and give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 5. So Israel, as we continue to go through the scripture and see the same thing happening, this is what we have to do. We have to wake up to the truth. At some point, we have to realize, what's our job as a prophet? To give you warning. Give you warning. Bring understanding to you. Give you all script and what?
No lip.
Come on now. Read that out.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you,
Understand. Paul is speaking to Thessalonians. He's telling them, read.
I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
Who we talking about? We talking about the man of perdition. We talking about pretty much all oppressor. All the rudiments of this wicked kingdom is being exposed right now. How it's being exposed? Through the words of the Most High God. Coming back to pretty much the laws. Read.
For the mystery of iniquity,
Notice what he say. For the mystery of iniquities. Read.
do already work.
This is what we have to understand. It's already in process. Read on.
Only he who now letteth will let,
Okay.
until he take it out of the way.
Come on now.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Understand, his spirit is these words. How he's going to be consumed, he's going to be exposed. Everything that was done in the dark is brought to the light. Read on.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his
Working of who?
the working of Satan
Satan just mean the adversary of God. Read.
with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Understand all deceivableness. So you have to think about it. The candy, the fake love, the pretty much gifts. All these things, that's what's deceiving Israel now. You got to think about it. They can't just shove it down your throat no more. We do a little reading now, so they just can't shove it down our throat. So they play on our emotions. They attack the children.
Yep.
These are things that they do. I'm going to just show you real quick. Finish that precept though.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
This is what's going on. They have not received the love of the truth, which we know the laws. Read.
That they might be saved.
That they might be what?
That they might be saved.
This is what's going on, Israel. Now, that being said, I'm going to just show you real quick the new love that's in this world. This is what love according to this world. I kind of googled this online the other day. The new love according to the rudiments of this world is pretty much accepting all forms of religion, pretty much having tolerance of all sinful type of behaviors. Now, the thing we just read, the unjust is abomination to the just, but this here accepting all forms of behavior, having tolerance of false teaching that doesn't line up the scripture. That's love. Not that is the new format of love. Letting the preachers preach to you without the Bible. Well, he just in the spirit, but he don't need the Bible. What? What scripture is that? Another format of this worldly love. Refusing to rebuke and to expose sin to your neighbor. If you do that, that's not love according to this world.
That's right.
When you another format they had, and I'm looking at this, and it's like scholars that's making notes of this. Another format of love. Never offend anyone with the law, statute, commandments of the Most High God.
That's right.
Now, when you read in Matthew, I think 11:6, Christ said, "Blessed is he that is not offended in me." Now, according to the new order of love, these is the format of love. Pretty much just go along and get along. So that being said, we're about to come to a close. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 15. Because, Israel, we pray that you get some understanding. But when you think about what's going on, this is our last captivity.
That's right.
Or we going to get it right now, or we going to forever burn in that lake of fire. But I'm going to show you what the Most High God say, because this is not my words. Read that right quick out.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 15. That which is crooked.
Hold up. So the Most High God is addressing that which is crooked. Read.
cannot be made straight.
No, it can be made straight.
Cannot be made
So it
straight.
cannot be made straight. Read.
And that which is wanting
Which is lacking. Read.
cannot be numbered.
It cannot be numbered. It can't even be accounted for. So when you think about what's going on, Israel, the time is running out. The time is running out. Give me Sirach chapter 23, verse 17 right quick. Because I tell people all the time, we out here for the lost sheep, not the dead sheep. Some of our people are not going to listen to the truth. Some of our people, really, you can bring out every scripture you want to bring out.
That's right.
And they still going to do what they want to do.
That's right.
Our job is just give our people warning.
That's right.
Sirach chapter 23, verse 17.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 23, verse 17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
Understand what the Bible is saying. All what?
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
So when you think about this, all sin is sweet to a sinner. When you out there sin, ain't no really, you really don't analyze it as sin. When you out there in it, it is what it is.
Yep.
So the Bible addresses all what?
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
Okay.
He will not leave off till he dies.
See, the thing is, when it say he would not leave off till he died. Understand when the Bible goes into the format of whoremonger, a lot of times people just think on the physical concept of just whoring out yourself, your body, but give me Wisdom of Solomon, give me Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12 right quick. This is what we have to understand. The format of being a whoremonger is not just on a physical, sexual level. When you think about actually being a whoremonger, bring that out for me.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols.
Hold on, so the Bible addressed it for the devising of idols, read.
Was the beginning.
Read that right quick, God.
The book of St. John, chapter 17, verse 13. And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world.
Okay, the world of Israel, we talking about the 12 tribes, read.
That they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves.
Okay.
I have given them thy word.
Understand, when Christ came, he pretty much brought back the fold and showed us how to walk in the commandments. So he's given us what?
I have given them thy word. And the world hath hated them.
Just what we have to realize. Read.
Because they are not of the world.
But if you're doing Valentine Day, you're doing all the pagan deities of this world, you are of this world. But Yahweh is addressing, as we walk in the spirit, we should not be of this world. Read.
Even as I am not of this world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world.
I want y'all to really underline it and understand it, Israel. As we continue this walk until Yahweh shall return to the Most High, send His Son back, we got to realize what he stated here. Read that verse again.
I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world,
okay,
but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
This is what's going on. This is what's going on. We don't know when he's coming back. We got to stay focused, Israel. We got to stay away from all these pagan deities. Let's close out. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 11 now. Because when you think about everything that's going on, the Bible says no man know the day or the hour. Not even the angel. Not even the son. Only the Most High. So when you think about this, Paul said it perfect. I can't talk what he says, so I'm just going to let him read this out. Read that out.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 11. Now all these things happen unto them for ensamples.
Understand, everything that happened before time, which you read that in Romans 15 and 4, was written for our learning. Now check this out, read.
And they are written for our admonition.
Okay.
Upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Okay.
Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
This is what we have to take heed to. Read.
There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man.
All these things that we dealing with now is coming. This pagan deity dealing with the prima fertility god is coming. This was going on way back then. But read on.
but God is faithful.
But who is faithful?
But God is faithful.
The question is, real, are we faithful is the question.
That's right.
Read on.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape,
Okay.
Right.
that ye may be able to bear it.
Read on.
Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
What does the Bible say, brothers?
Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
This is what we have to do.
That's right.
I'm going to close out on this prayer here in Sirach. Give me Sirach 23, verse 4. We're going to read it down to 7. Because when you think about Israel, I tell my brothers all the time, protect your soul, man. Because it's an everyday battle. It's an everyday battle. We cannot get caught up in the snare. This is how we should be analyzing and praying about these situations. Read that right quick out.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 23, verse 4. O Lord, Father and God of my life,
Okay.
give me not a proud look,
You say, give me not a proud look. Read.
but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind.
You say, turn away a grievous, a mean, a haughty mind. Turn that away from me, Lord. Read.
Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence.
He said, turn away from me, vain hope. Anything that's going to lead me astray and not allow me to make it to the kingdom, he said, turn me away from it. And foolishness. Read.
And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee.
Come on now.
Let not the greediness of the belly,
Okay.
nor lust of the
He
flesh,
said, nor lust of the flesh. Read.
take hold of me.
Come on now.
And give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind.
A unjust mind. Read.
Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips.
And on that, Israel, we hope you got some understanding, and we say shalom.
Children struggling together.
Hold on, I want to get to Matthew 22 and verse
Tosh Money.
St. Matthew chapter 22, verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Ye do err,
Understand? Read.
not knowing the scriptures,
Knowing the scripture,
nor the power of God.
Lord, the power of God. Read. Hey, he's coming back like a thief in the night, man. Your beer, your barbecues, and your blood is not going to save you.